narrative. Why the name bars over politics?
Well,
I know the answers to that. I think everybody knows the answer.
I mean,
But
it's
I'm
obvious.
asking anyway.
Black, it's an election year.
That's what I'm saying.
The election is Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The battle takes place on Sunday. So, you know, the name fit.
Okay. All right. And let's get straight.
And it was just a collaborative effort, you know what I'm saying? Because one of the people who are involved, the name of his movement is Politics as Usual. So it's just a kind of a collaborative effort between his movement and ours.
Okay. Beasley, why did you book this a week before another event? Let's get straight into it.
I've been hearing this, and it sounds insane.
I'm here to break it down if you
know what I'm saying? Like, it's the audacity for someone to ask me that. It's crazy. We're doing this for over a decade, man.
Yeah.
We do the most events all year long, all the time,
Okay.
right? Nobody calls URL and says, hey, we're going to do an event on this date, and gives us any warning as to when they're going to do an event. So I don't understand why URL is expected to, like, adhere to any guidelines in terms of when we do battles. You know, we're not doing a battle on anybody's date.
Yeah.
And we're not using the same talent pool.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just, you know, this whole thing that's been going on is just kind of crazy.
Listen, we can cut this shit. Let's get straight. Hey, listen.
And also, we're in a time, right? We're in a time where battles are taking place every single week.
That's a fact. I mean,
you got Battle Academy. You got, who else has
Black Ice?
Black
I said it's
continuously, week after
Cassidy
week after
versus
week.
John.
I am not like them or the others. Don't back down, I don't run for cover. And the crowd goes.
Cassidy versus John. So this is the time that we're in.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a time where there's more leagues than ever. There are more events going on than ever. So you're going to see that. You know, it's just part of the game.
Okay, but the confusion for me and the fans, because we got the good brother HITMAN HOLLA, Luther HITMAN HOLLA. He made statements, obviously, and he felt like, I guess, in the spaces, and he tweeted a couple of things. So I don't know if, again, he's trolling a little bit to, you know, add more energy to his card too, which should be smart. It's marketing stuff.
Right.
But the discrepancy between him and you, because y'all was in the space together, so it's like,
there's no discrepancy.
Is there discrepancy here? Like,
there's no discrepancy on my end. I haven't heard from Holla since the announcement.
Okay.
You know, of course I hear that, you know, he said a few things, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like those things could have been said to me directly. Like, he could have called me, just like he called me to get into spaces with him and advocate for him, you know, and I was telling the truth. It wasn't, you know, when I did go in and speak on his behalf, I was just speaking facts.
Yeah.
But the fact that I don't do that, I don't go into people's spaces, I don't do
You never been in my space, Beasley.
I don't do many interviews, you know what I'm saying? He asked me to come and, you know, and join his space, and I did. I just felt, you know, if he felt that there was some type of an issue or discrepancy, or there was some questions that he wanted to know, he could have simply picked up the phone and they've given me a call. Yeah.
All right, just some of the tweets, you know what I'm saying, that he put out there, because I gotta follow up with this. He says, you know, behind the scenes scoop for the fans, the guy that funded the Politics Usual, which is John event earlier in the year, which is a good event, shout out to John. He basically said that y'all picked up on that.
Right.
So y'all have the same person that's involved with John's event to your event. What's the backstory on that?
Yeah, like, I'm going to get into that. Into that. But, like, even before we get there, right, I just think, like, overall, I just think at this point, Holla has to exercise a higher level of emotional intelligence. You can't just jump out here and just start going crazy. And, you know, I've heard clips. Some of the stuff is sent to my phone, and then he's online and he's gaslighting Geechee and, hey, Geechee, that, you know, I know they would come after me, but I don't think they'll go after you, Geechee. You know what I'm saying? And I find it entertaining, actually. You know what I'm saying? But the flip side of that is that sometimes fans hear these things and they believe them, you know? And I just feel like we're in an era where if you don't refute something, it becomes the truth. And I'm just now learning that, you know? For years, I've always taken the high road when people say things regarding URL and myself. I don't respond to it because I don't like to engage, because I don't think that that's my role within the culture. But I'm fast learning that if I don't do that, the brand gets demonized. I get attacked, and people start to believe the things that people are saying, and they don't. They just kind of certain people, not all, are kind of just led like sheep, and they don't sit down to think or evaluate anything. They just listen to what someone says. So I just think that, you know, Holla getting that upset that quickly, he just has to make better decisions and just be a little. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't angry with Holla. I don't have any anger towards him. I still consider him a friend, and you know, there's no beef and no issue with him. But I just definitely think that he just has to get a little bit more, have a little bit more emotional intelligence when dealing in situations, and not just jump out immediately and lead with his ego. Because what happens is it's just like you do the things that he's doing right now, and then it turns into these big groups inside these platforms, and then it, you know, in spaces you see the microphone speaking, and then the self-victimization begins, and you know, I didn't know they was going to do that to me, man, and you know, you get his associates and all these people coming together, and it just becomes like a pity party. You know what I'm saying? And it's unnecessary. It's not anything that needs to speak. But I know I'm getting off track. What was the thing that you? What was the tweet that you had?
Basically, I'm saying because the people are saying this too, that the mayor's involved. I think he said again he had an offer, but I feel like the tweet in itself explains every situation, because if the mayor's involved, I'm assuming, and you can clear it up if you want to, that it has to be done before the election. So that's why it's being done. It's not really a step on toes or anything.
That's the second phase to demonstrating emotional intelligence. Like, why are we discussing this? Why do the fans need a scoop about anything? Unless it's about the battles, why do we need to know this information? You can speak to your experience and what happened between you and the mayor, or whatever offer or level of support was offered to you. But when you start mentioning John and Don's business, and you start mentioning URL's business, you're out of line. It's classless. You know, and I just think that, you know, again, we have to be more mindful, because we shouldn't be speaking on other men's business. You know what I mean? You don't know the ins and outs of what my offer was, or what URL's level of support was, or what John's support was. That's for John to speak to, or for URL to speak to. But me, honestly, I don't think that the fans should have any knowledge of that. And I think that's one of the big.
Making the switch to Shopify means designing an online store that expresses your brand your way. Choose from tons of free, no-code themes to get started quickly. With drag-and-drop editing and endless customizations, creating a one-of-a-kind shopping experience has never been easier. Start your free trial today.
Biggest problems that we're facing right now is because everybody wants to know the inner workings, what this person made, what the deal was, and we're getting away from focusing on the actual battles. You know, this is reality TV now instead of battle rap.
And some of it could be asking this question. I'm about to ask him in a second.
some of it is entertaining, right? But I think we get sidetracked with that, and then that becomes more important than the actual battles themselves. So, you know, overall, that's my only gripe. I don't have any issue. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm not beefing with Hitman. But, you know, you're asking me, so I'm telling you directly how I feel about the situation. And, you know, overall, you know, I just think you need to tighten up, man.
Tighten up, man.
Behave, man. You know better, Holla.
While we're here, I mean, because I don't want to start the interview off and then double back at the end, so I'm going to just put this up front.
You know, we all love Hitman, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it just got to make sense. You feel what I'm saying? If it makes sense, then, you know, we could potentially, you know what I mean, see, you know, that happening. I think Beasley would be more so in a better position to answer that question than I would. But like I said, man, like, you know, it just got to make sense, man.
Okay. All right. Salute. Beasley, I'll be asking you that if you sit down in this good secret, brother. I asked Smack and he said you're better suited to answer this question. It was
Right.
the Hitman Holla versus Murder Mook with Gerald McCoy being involved.
Right.
That's when you were in the space with him.
Correct.
Like, so what happened there? What went wrong there?
Nah, we were trying to put some situations together, and there were some investors and things that we were trying to get to make the battle happen. But you know, people have to understand what is URL. We're charged a different number than everybody else in the culture. You know what I mean? Because we have put so much out financially. There's an expectation financially from battlers of what they believe we should pay, not what the actual market value is for their talent or what others are paying. So, you know, when we were negotiating, it was definitely a tough negotiation. You know, you have Murder Mook, you got Hitman Holla, you know, two of the highest paid guys within the culture. So, you know, it took a little bit of time, but, you know, we weren't able to get things done at that time. Right. So, you know, and I told Holla, I said, hey, listen, you know, if there's an opportunity for you to do the battle someplace else, don't wait for us. Do the battle. Don't miss any opportunity. You know what I mean? So, you know, I guess, you know, eventually that battle kind of went down, and then I know that they had spoken about him and Geechee battling, you know, some time ago, and then I guess that whole thing came into fruition.
Yeah.
And you know, they're doing a great job at promoting the event. You know what I mean? I think people are vested in that event. I think people are vested in this current URL event. And I think it's all must-see TV. It's battles that everybody wants to see. I want to see all the battles, and you know, I don't think they have anything to worry about. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just to clear the air again, I don't have an issue with Hitman Holla.
Beasley and Hitman are good.
You know,
y'all gonna get on the phone at some point?
It's still cool. Yeah, we're gonna get on the phone. We're gonna run into each other. You know, man, come on, Bees, man. You know what I'm saying? And it, you know, but it's nothing. But you know, I mean, I said what I said, and I stand on what I said. You know what I mean? I definitely think he needs to just tighten up in those areas and be a little bit more mindful, because leading out with information about people's business online to fans, it's tasteless.
We're just gonna do a video on that. But I'm gonna get into this too. Since we're at this topic, when I was asking Smack when he did an interview with me, and I think the people grasped from him saying that he's not really interested in it because it's not going to make sense, it's not going to happen, whatever it is. Is URL still looking to make major battles happen?
Of course.
Of the Hitman versus Murder Mook level.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we have Rum Nitty versus Loaded Lux.
I thought that was
you know what I mean?
battle.
That was a big battle. I mean, you know, there's a few big battles left, but these big battles arise at certain times. You know what I'm saying? You can never determine what's going to be a big battle or not going to be a big battle. It all depends on the energy that the MCs put into promoting the battle. That makes it into a big battle. But of course, I mean, we've been doing this for over a decade, you know, so there's going to be battles. There's going to be big battles that go to other platforms. There's going to be big battles that are on the URL platform. So, of course, we're always looking to do the best and the biggest battles that we can do.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I caught him with the setup. You know what I mean? It was a lead into the big battles, into this question. I got him right here. Speaking of big battles and the fact that the fans grasp onto, shout out to ThaNaRRative. He's on an amazing run, but there was an opposition that he said he wanted to face, and then he said he didn't want to face him. And that good brother's name, salute to this good brother on my behalf too, ThaNaRRative versus Easy the Block Captain. What's up with that?
Hollow the Don versus JC.
Now we make examples.
URLs, bars over politics.